Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. How you doing, Digital Pollution? I see you in the chat. So, we're going to be talking about Darth Vader, Disney versus Legends. Now, we're only going to be talking about one actual aspect of it. And it's basically Vader or Anakin's trauma. You see, after his defeat at the hands of Obi-Wan on Mustafar, in Legends, in my opinion, Vader is more realistic. Where in the new Disney attempt thingy, whatever you want to call it, you can call it canon if you want. Different opinions are welcome. I have no problem if you have a different opinion. If you like Disney Star Wars, that's fine. I absolutely have no problem with you liking it. We agree to disagree. But as I was saying, they have him going to places like Mustafar. He has a castle on Mustafar, apparently. I mean, Rogue One, yeah, he has it on Mustafar. He goes to Tatooine to learn who this rebel was that blew up the Death Star. I mean, and now they also have him, or they have a comic that he's going to visit Padme's tomb on Naboo. Now, this is why I think it would not be possible for Vader to do any of that. You see, there's a book from the EU Legends, sadly it's Legends, but it's one that I thought was very well done, and it explained perfectly the mindset of Vader. It was called Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader. You never made sense to me why Vader would, or why would Darth Vader want to live on Mustafar in that one movie. Wasn't it called Board One? Yes, that's the joke. Yeah, to be honest, Junebug, I actually liked Rogue One for the most part, but that's because I have a bias on it. And it's the only Disney Star Wars movie that I like. So, yeah. But anyway, in the book, not only does it explain what's it like to be in that suit, which is awesome. Well, the description of it is awesome. I'm not saying that living in a suit like that, having all the stuff that's wrong with you is awesome. That would not be awesome at all. That'd be living hell. But basically, it also describes his mentality. He was sent to the Jedi Temple after a few months of being in the suit. And he was sent to get Sith holocrons that were actual forgeries of the Darth Bane holocron. But, and that series is how they should have adapted that into a movie. Yeah, I can agree with that. I haven't read The Dark Forces, so I don't exactly know what that is. I mean, yes, I am a Star Wars fan and an expanded universe fan, but there are some parts that I didn't read. But continuing on, he started, or Vader, as he was walking through the halls, put his hand up against the wall, and as he was remembering the slaughter that he committed in that temple months previous. And his heart started to beat irregularly. His suit literally had to go into overdrive just to keep him upright. He caused himself to be put into such a frenzy that he came to an epiphany that makes the most logical sense ever. He would not be able to go to certain places, not only because it would be bad for his health, but he is trying to forget Anakin. He's trying to bury Anakin down, deep down at this point. And as he's doing this, well, just the Dark Forces as Die Hard in the Death Star, one-man army fighting stormtroopers, and he has to steal the star plans. I think they had a bit of that in the original Battlefront 2 game, the PS2 and 360 Xbox version, not that one that they have out now. They actually had that as part of the 501st part of the 501st storyline. So yeah, I do know a little bit about it. Somebody escaped the Death Star, made their way to Polis Massa, and that's when the 501st also showed up at Polis Massa, but the plans were also transmitted already to the blockade runner, so yeah. But anyway, he realized he wouldn't be able to go to places like Mustafar, Naboo, Tatooine, and all them, because they would literally be too much of an emotional impact on his body, which is still very raw from defeat. A lot of people forget the suit that Vader is in is keeping him alive. That is a life support suit. He's not just a cyborg. He is literally a walking life support system. And Disney just continue to do things that don't make sense. I mean, yeah, the thing on Mustafar. Now, I can understand now, if you say that he has the castle on Mustafar so that he would be constantly reminded of his failure and to channel his anger and whatnot, that would make sense. Excuse me. That would make sense. But they don't say anything like that. They just give him a castle on Mustafar, and he's there. That's it. He's not traumatized by his defeat. He's not traumatized by his failure. He's not traumatized by any of that. Now, it's also explained at the end of the book, during the epilogue, where Luke, Owen, and Bree are being shadowed by Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan learned that Darth Vader is alive and Anakin is alive, and he was contemplating on whether or not he should take Luke away from Tatooine. And it was in that moment when he was about to go to them that he hears Qui-Gon's voice. And he tells him, the boy is safe here. Vader will never set foot on Tatooine for fear of waking up Anakin, for fear of stirring Anakin. And at that point, Vader was very much still beginning his journey into the dark side. Yes, on Kashyyyk, his faith was reaffirmed and whatnot, but Anakin was still in there, and he was always in there. And also, if you look at episode 4, A New Hope, why doesn't Vader go down and search for the droids? Why doesn't he, folks? Because, let's face it, he is still traumatized by the pain that he feels for letting his mother, or for not being able to save his mother. He is not wanting to go down to a place where there is serious reminders of pain, and not just any kind of pain, but truly deep-seated pain and anger and guilt. So him going to Naboo would, like, they have a suggestion going on in the comics where he's going to visit Padme's tomb. Why would he? Vader or Anakin away. He is trying to bury Anakin. You hear it in Rebels. Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him. You hear it in Return of the Jedi. That name no longer has any meaning for me. You hear it all. And yes, you can make that argument too, digital pollution. That's what the troops are for. But still, something as monumental as the Death Star plans, you'd think he would that he would be willing to go down there and search for them to ensure that they come back into their hands. It makes the most logical sense. I mean, the only reason why he would not go down is if he is afraid of awakening Anakin Skywalker. Because at that point, it's 20 years later or 19 years, and yes, deeply immersed into the dark side, sure. But even at that point, he is starting to wake. He is starting to stir. So yeah, he would take the precautions. And it makes no sense. I mean, sure, comics that he's being basically turned into an anti-hero. And it's like, yeah, doing it. He's not really being a hero to anybody, but I mean, he's not saying that he should be worshipped, because he did kill a huge beast on one planet and everybody worships him now. He's like, I didn't do it for you. But they don't care about that, so they worship him anyway. And yes, in the EU, he does trick the Nogri into a lifelong life debt of the species to him and his family. So there's that as well, but that also goes towards manipulation and how he actually was able to, or it showed his deceptive nature, so to speak. Now, also, further on, I just think that it is very foolish of Disney to not look at the psychological point of view of how trauma works. You really are going to go to a planet where you had your arm and legs cut off, and would you go back to that planet willingly? Anybody in the chat? 7 people in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Answer honestly. If you had the choice to go to a planet where you were dismembered and basically roasted on a spit, would you go there willingly, knowing that it could drudge up all sorts of pain and memories that could, and you're in a life support system that could possibly short because of your outbursts of anger? Isn't it kind of funny? By definition, Padme is technically a cougar. There is only a 5. To be fair, there is only a 5-year difference between Padme and Padme and Anakin. There's only a 5 years difference. She was 14 when he was. That's explained in the books. She was 14 years old when she was elected queen. And she hadn't been serving long in episode 1. She was still on her first year, so to speak. And Anakin was 9 years old, so they're still only 5 years old. But very funny. To have you. And you guys are absolutely right. Do you want to, I mean, apply it to real world stuff? And the only thing that I can think of right now is, well, we're not going to get into that. Sexual assault victims, folks. Yes, we are going to get into it. If you were sexually assaulted, actually a study that's been, I think my camera just kind of skipped a little bit. Sorry about that. All victim sound or prohibited. And because they want to get the smell of the person off them, they want to get the feeling of the person off them. It is a psychological damage that is done to you. And it is obviously not the smartest thing to do, because not only are you rubbing yourself raw, you are peeling off the first layer of your skin, but also evidence, you know. But I don't think people who are victimized like that care about evidence. But that's basically the kind of thing, or it's works the same way with trauma. You've suffered a trauma, you don't want any reminder of that trauma. I mean, your body is a living reminder of it, obviously. Now, hold on, Mar. I will actually address that thing 1 second. But Hey, my girlfriend is 5 years older than me, and I still call her a cougar. Okay, Junebug, very good. But yeah, folks. But to address Mar here, as a Sith who believes to get stronger through pain and anger, I wouldn't completely rule it out. I think it was Bane who killed his only love to get stronger by it. Actually, it wasn't Bane. It was goddamn, Malgus. It was Darth Malgus who killed his wife to get rid of any weakness and whatnot. I don't think Bane had any real love outside of the power that he was learning. Now, but going back to the trauma and whatnot, Vader, months into his suit and whatnot, he had to use the Force simply to walk. He had to call on the Force. It wasn't his 20. Sorry about that, folks. I did have small internet problem. Yeah, I see that, Junebug. Rest in peace, Orange Hat. Yeah, and muted and screen frozen. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, folks. I do have internet problems for those just tuning in. Thank you for sticking through, because I see that I still have the same amount of viewers that I did when I was kicked off or when my internet crashed. But yes, going back to the trauma, you do not want reminders. And to be, or going to a planet like where your greatest love is and is also interred because you killed her in your mind, you killed her. And you were told by your own master that you killed her. He will be back in a second, and as Monkey isn't here, I will just say that he might just took his brain fire with it. Oh, jeez, Mario, you are such a freaking tease. Anyway, but continuing on, there we go. Basically, yeah, he would not want to go to Naboo ever. He would literally probably have a heart attack that would explode his heart if he went there. So him going to places like Mustafar, well, yes, that could be used to channel his anger, and he would be even more powerful there. That makes sense maybe down the line when he is confronting his pain, when he is finally ready to confront his pain. But everybody knows that Anakin was a very deeply unbalanced individual. So that being said, I don't think he would have ever been truly able to confront his pain and anger and whatnot. Especially as a Sith, you don't confront it, you embrace it. But yeah, so years later, sure, I can see him going back to Mustafar. But even Emperor Palpatine in the book, Rise of Darth Vader, he even acknowledged that it would possibly be difficult for Anakin to go to places that had deep emotional connections to. Tatooine, Naboo. I mean, his emotional outburst on Coruscant was proof enough that merely going to a place where you were tapping into the dark side and committing wholesale slaughter, it even having a strong emotional outburst there to the point where it gave him the epiphany that he couldn't. Palpatine acknowledged that as well. Vader was the original fire crotch. Yeah. So yeah, it just goes to show you that Disney made a monumental mistake when they said we're totally decanifying or decanonizing the EU. It's like, you really should take some of them and keep it canon, like The Rise of Darth Vader. Because the thing is, the person who did the book, I can't remember the name of the person who did the book, it's over there somewhere, but the writer, the author, I'm willing to bet he looked into some psychological things on trauma. I think if we really wanted to go back to Mustafar, he would just send Starkiller to go, oh, wait, he doesn't exist anymore. True, Junebug, he doesn't, sadly. But yeah. Looks like I had a little bit of a freeze there. Sorry. But continuing on, them saying that he wants to go to, or they also had in a comic where he was tracking down the rebel who destroyed the Death Star. He found out his last name was Skywalker, and there's only one place he had to go, and he went to the homestead. He went to the homestead after Owen and Beru were killed. Anakin Skywalker, or Darth Vader, did. And it's like, and he's having all these flashbacks of Padme and his Anakin memories. And he has this little droid that's kind of like the one that assisted him. I viewed Vader's refusal to go to Naboo much like I viewed my old state I used to live in. Too many painful memories. Exactly. And that's the thing, folks. Trauma will put you in a position to where you do not want to go anywhere near bringing up those memories unless you are well ready enough to confront them and to move past them. Vader never was. They never explained that he was ever able to get past those things. But so he did what he had to do. He pushed Anakin down so deep and focused on his anger. But even in books like Shadows of the Empire, which takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and actually even during Empire Strikes Back, so actually it takes place during Empire Strikes Back and just a little bit before Return of the Jedi, Vader exits his suit. He's in his hyperbaric chamber, and he's channeling the light side to where he can actually breathe a little bit, but he can only do it for a very small amount of time, seconds only. So then he starts coughing and having emergency problems, so he gets his suit back on and whatnot. I mean, there's so much rich detail in the EU, especially concerning Vader, because Disney is basically painting Vader as an anti-hero instead of a villain like he should be. I mean, well, the one where he killed that super psychotic fangirl that was in love with him. I mean, that was pure villain mode right there. There's a certain house in my hometown that I refuse to go into too many painful memories just because my mom suffers from bipolar. She was diagnosed after my parents' divorce. That's how she lived. I'm sorry to hear that, Junebug. I truly am. And I honestly understand your hesitancy or your unwillingness to go into that home. Trauma can do that to you. And everybody will say that trauma is a strong word. It's not just a strong word. It is the definitive word to use when describing such actions that have an emotional scarring impact on your life. That's just how it is. But they keep on putting Vader in all of these situations where he's going to Mustafar, he's going to frickin' Tatooine, he's going to frickin'... Now he's going to be going to Naboo to visit Padme's tomb. It's like, why? There's no way that you could do that if you are Vader. It is, you are channeling, or you are going to be bombarded with so much memories of Padme and all that. And the reminder that you could not save the person you loved and you ended up killing her. How could anybody go anywhere near a place that would do that to you? Unless you are a masochist. Unless you want to feel that pain. So, yeah, they're going to do that comic and they're just going to make it meh. It didn't bother me that much. They're going to touch on his pain, his anger, and whatnot, sure. But in no way are they going to touch on exactly the right amount of anger and pain that he would feel if he did this. You see, folks, that is why Disney Vader, or Darth Wannabe Vader, is not realistic. He's not. He is a shell of what he could have been. They made him super powerful and whatnot. Sure, he can slaughter all those people and whatnot. Yeah. But they're making him less human, less relatable. You see what I'm saying? Where in the books from the Legends, you could literally identify with Vader on certain aspects. People who are quadriplegic can identify with the guy, knowing that you have to go through a lot of prosthetics and whatnot. You could also, or people who have emotional trauma can identify with Vader. Now, all these things that you're seeing, it's not realistic, folks. It's like they took away the psychological aspect and just basically just rewired him so he would be a fucking robot. And I'm sorry for the F-bomb, but this, you know what? This isn't for kids, so fuckity fuck. Anyway, Fenrir Fire, hello, how you doing? Glad you can join. But yeah, folks, so there's, now that I got all of my thoughts out of the way, does anybody want to come in and discuss Vader? Anybody want to actually come in onto the chat? Because I'm actually going to drop the link in the description, or in the comment section, rather. So now I want to open it up to anybody who's willing to come in and describe or go over their thoughts on all the things that you have heard me go through. The real reason why people thought that Vader was the coolest out of all the Star Wars villains was because he was a villain, but you couldn't, but you could understand why he was the way he was. You identified with Vader. Exactly, Junebug. Exactly. So now, if you guys want to come in, shoot the shit on Vader, we're opening it up for 30 minutes because I want to only run this for an hour. So if you guys want to come in, absolutely, come on in, have fun. We'll talk Vader, and we'll compare and contrast. So, oh, you got, and while we're waiting for that to occur. And those are also the best villains, the ones we can understand. Exactly. If you can understand them, they are very good. And the thing is, you can't really understand Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, but you still like him. So there is a little bit of contrast on that as well. And I got 9 people watching. That's pretty good for me. So I also got a small bump in subs earlier today, and I want to thank BloodX for actually sending some of them my way, and the people who actually did sub to my channel from BloodX's live stream earlier. Thank you for subbing. I only got 3 notifications out of the 5 people that did sub. So I'm sorry if I don't know exactly which ones subbed. I know Blue, a person named Blue, subbed, and a couple of card channels, they subbed, and I want to thank each and every one of them for subbing. So if any of you guys want to come in, StreamYard is in the comment section. Feel free to click it and come on in. We'll talk Vader. So what do you guys think of Disney-fied version of Vader versus the EU Legends Vader? Which one do you guys like better? Put it in the comment section or put it in the chat if you guys don't want to come on in. But yep, now that that is done, it looks like a lot of things going on Discord. My Discord has been off the wall. Vader was the pinnacle of both the dark and light sides of the Force. The villains have the opportunity, so bit sucks at creating canon. You are very right, Fenrir. You are very right. EU is superior to Marvel. I agree, Soul Assassin. And we got Happy Dino coming in. Thank you, Happy. How you doing?
Doing good. And how are you, Orange Hat?
I'm doing well. So, what's your take on the Vader canon versus Vader Legends?
I think they're trying to turn him into like a hero, I think they're trying to turn him into an anti-hero going on his own adventures, which is not really that unusual for like comic books, where it's like, ooh, we got the Joker, let's get him his own adventures here. Ooh, we got Venom, let's get him his own adventures. They don't care if it makes sense instead that this guy's the bad guy. We gotta make a spinoff somehow to kind of make more money on the Star Wars stuff. But I just think he worked as a villain, not an anti-hero.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't mind that they're making him kind of anti-hero-ish, but you also got to remind people that he is indeed a villain.
It's like with this one comic book character. I know, like people say, like Shazam, and but like I think it was in this like Black Adam, like Cam, not Camar, but Shazam's arch enemy. I mean, he's basically he said to be pretty happy today. He said he's gonna be played by Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but basically Black Adam is basically an evil Shazam, and they gave him his own adventure, which is as an anti-hero, when he's clearly a villain. And I think it's just something they do because they want to make more profit on the series. But anyway, I think that is understandable that Darth Vader would not want to go to Naboo. I think there's a lot of psychology involved with Darth Vader's. And I am alone. Yeah, I'll try to get the chat pulled up on my tablet. But if I'm going, I apologize. I can't find my headphones. Well, people, well, I still think Darth Vader is an interesting character. It's just that they're just kind of missing the point of Darth Vader. It's just something really odd. Essentially, I'm gonna see. All right. I got the chat finally pulled up. I'm gonna see what you guys are saying. All right. Hey.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay!
I actually came
from the dead. Yay!
I actually came back, but
like
yeah, you weren't in the chat or you weren't on the stream, and it's like I've only had that happen one other time, and it's like, what the hell?
Technical issues, man. It happens.
Yeah, idiots getting on a freaking landline. But
shit happens. Oh no, not again. Well, chat, does the chat have any questions for me? I'm gonna say that again because I think I slurred. There it is. Does the chat have any questions for me? Yes, Orange Hat, this is insane. And I'll keep the chat busy for a few minutes. Alright. Oh, Mandalorian Season 2. That sounds actually pretty cool. I hear Kathleen Kennedy's banned from the set, so that's kind of nice. Mandalorian Season
2. That's actually a good thing to talk about too. Mando Season 2. But I'm actually pumped for it, to be honestly.
It sounds very nice.
Mm-hmm. Good afternoon. How you doing, Adiga? I'm hearing myself on your side.
Adiga Outlaw. Infinite Fire.
Yeah, I think I am hearing myself still on your side.
Well, I think I'm echoing on.
Yeah, I do got a small echo.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave now.
Oh.
No, I can't find my headphones. I'm gonna keep looking for them. Well, Blanco and happy day to all.
Mm-hmm. I hope they give us some real meat. Go epic like Thrones. That would be interesting. So if you guys actually want to come in and talk Vader, if you guys want to talk Legends versus Disney Vader, I'll put it again in the chat. So here you guys go. But yeah, Happy Dinosaur, he's an awesome guy. So what other questions do you guys, I mean, I'm going to be streaming for another 20 minutes. So if you guys want to come in for a little bit, I have no problem with you guys coming in. Let me make sure that I'm still going here. Yep, I am. Okay, good. But yep, still got a strong signal, so there we go. Soul Assassin, if you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to, man. Everybody should give Soul Assassin a clap and an applause because this guy has been going crazy with with supporting my channel, and I just caught him on Twitter sharing the stream. Thank you, Soul, dude. If it wasn't for people like you, Soul, Adiga, Junebug, Fenrir, and all of you guys, and all of the support you have shown, I wouldn't be doing this. I honestly wouldn't. I've actually had a couple times where I'm like, why do I keep doing this? But it's because of your support and your likes and sharing and whatnot, getting my content out there. That keeps me going in this. It keeps me, or it makes me realize that somebody actually does like my stuff, you know? Now, just wish I can get the like ratio up for the views. But, yeah. It's, ugh. So, with that, thank you. So, and you know what, Soul? Dude, seriously, your help is helping me a lot more than you realize. But, yeah. I do appreciate every single one of my subscribers. I mean, especially today, it was kind of stressful because a lot of crap was going on earlier today. So we're going to break into a little bit of current events, hometown buzz, whatnot. I basically had to go to the police station today to file a report or to file a complaint against my neighbor because it's just, oh, hey, Cameron Ryder, how you doing? And no, I have not seen Ultraman. But yeah, I had to file a complaint against my neighbor because they kept on throwing snow in the damn road. Thank Odin's Valkyries, I learned from their examples. Yes, Stephanie B and Tina B or Tina BB are great freaking people. They are awesome. Hope one time to get them in the chat sometime. Do you still stream with Rosetta a lot? Been busy, missed a lot lately. I have not been on with Rosetta as of late. She has been, or she's not tossed me a link in a while. So, I mean, I'd like to go on her thing sometime when she's live, but I also haven't seen her live lately either. But yeah. So yeah, basically they're throwing snow in the middle of the road. And they've been doing it for the whole winter, especially during times where the roads are not in the best condition. So they're only making things worse. And today, they did it again. They shoveled their shit out into the middle of the damn road. And I decided, you know what? Had enough of it. Done. Not putting up with the scrap. Went to the police and I told them, I got videos of this guy doing it too, which I do. I got videos of him doing it. Shoveling snow out into the freaking road. And I had pictures from today. Now, it turns out today, it might have just been the thaw from the roof pouring down, and that's how the snow got into the road. But you know what? It was kind of shoveled out, your little area. So it does kind of look like it wasn't just from that, you know? I mean, sure, if it was mea culpa, I was wrong this one time. But that doesn't excuse the fact that that the guy kept on doing it numerous times in the past. You don't throw snow in the middle of the road, especially because it can cause a driving hazard. I have family members who have died because of driving hazards. Very happy memories. And I wasn't able to meet a couple of family members because they had died before my time due to crap like bad road conditions and people not giving a care about them. Anywho, let's get off of that. But yeah, that's a little bit of current events and whatnot. But yeah, so any of you guys still want to come on? The link is in the chat right here. Just scroll up a little bit more or scroll up a little bit and you should be able to find it easy. Brady does. And I'm back, everybody. But am I? Oh, he's found his headphones. Awesome. Happy day indeed. But yeah, I mean, even I wear these kind of headphones when I do my live streams. I don't got the big fancy ones. Nothing wrong with the big fancy ones. I mean, I kind of do wish I do have them, but they really... And that was just very embarrassing. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Actually, I might have to cut the stream because I might be getting a call soon from the police station concerning today's report. So yeah, I'm going to keep it close to the content that I did. And I did discuss all relevant topics that I wanted to, so yeah. Oh, Jay, I already did that, or I did the videos for it. I did the non-rant and the rant. Because the thing is, I figured I had a huge turnout in the poll that I put on Twitter. So I figured I might as well reward everyone who voted. Because there was 25% who did not want the rant. And you know what? I don't blame them. There are people who want a more level-headed video and whatnot, so I decided to give it to them. And I also decided to do the rant for the majority, obviously, because it's the best of both worlds. You can have the God damn it kind of version, or you can have the clear, level-headed version, you know? And that's befitting to my Sith name, because I kind of like having a Sith name too, Darth Volin, because I can be benevolent or malevolent. Both have V-O-L-E-N in the words. But yeah, them trying to push a child-consuming product into the sexual narrative is completely wrong. Anyway, folks, I am going to wrap it up at this time. I want to thank all of the people who attended. I'd like to have these people sent back to the golden era of games and say this shit. We would be over. It would be over as soon as it started. Yeah, I hear you there, man. Birds of Prey failed. They need to acknowledge that. You're absolutely right, folks. Anyway, I want to thank Jay God, Fenrir, Kamen Rider, Happy Dino 8000, Kamen Rider, already thanked Kamen Rider, Soul Assassin, me is in the chat. Junebug, Adiga, Digital Pollution. Let's see, who else was in the chat today that I haven't thanked? Mark Krell, thank you for stopping by. And all of you guys. You guys are the ones that keep me going. You guys are indeed the ones that keep me going in doing all of this. And like I said, I wouldn't be able to keep doing it if it wasn't for the vote of confidence that you guys instill in me. Anyway, folks, thank you for stopping by this live stream. It's not exactly an hour, but hey, it leaves a little bit more time for other live streams before Friday. Anyway, folks, y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know down in the comments below what or whether or not you prefer Vader from comics or canon, Disney canon, or Vader from Legends. Let me know your personal preference down in the comment section below, because the live chat will be closed when I end this broadcast. Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews, and I'll catch you all on the next one. And thank you, Kamen Rider.